been with them about 13 years now, and I'm predominantly responsible for the development of the Sominva line. Anybody in here know what Sominva stands for? Anybody? I'll even ask my own guys. Do you guys know?
Remember, it had something to do with sleep.
Seminar is the Latin word for sleep, and Viva is live or life, and I took the two words and I jammed it together. We make a multitude of different lineups. We make the Eastman House Eclipse line, and unfortunately, because of fortunately because of the number of Bob stores he has and the number of customers that we have, we didn't have an area or a line that every area was clean, and Bob wanted his own lineup. So Sominva gives you an opportunity to have something that's unique to you, that can't be shopped, that can't be price matched. It's not at Sam's Club, it's not at Mattress Firm, it's not at Star, it's not at any of your big competitors up and down the street here. So when you pitch somebody on our product, it is fully and entirely exclusive to Bob Mills. Now, that being said, some of the components that we use in the line come from our other lineups. The advantage of us having the Eclipse lineup is that we're able to use some of our patented components, put it in our private label program for Bob, and it's one of the reasons that he chose our program. I'm gonna have you guys actually give them the handouts, if you would. Sure. Yeah, these are the right ones. One of each. Okay.
No, he's good.
I'm going to go over the page that looks like this, that's two-sided, but this is your cheat sheet, the sheet that's color-coded with the clean prices. For those of you that don't know a lot about our company, I'm going to take a minute and tell you about who we are. Sleep Designs is based in Houston, Texas. It's been there since 1931. It's family owned and operated. Currently there's one owner, his name is Steve Schnitzer. His great uncle founded the company, and his uncle, the founder's son, still comes into the factory a couple days a week. He's like 96 or 7 years old. And occasionally, if you ever call the factory, you call customer service for some reason, if lines 1, 2, and 3 are busy and line 4 rings, and you get somebody answers the phone and say, "What do you want?" That's him. He doesn't mean anything by it. But he's 97 years old, he can answer the phone any way he wants. What's neat about being a factory like this is that unlike an S brand like a Sealy or a Serta, where here's our bed, do you like it? Great. If you don't, well, buy something else. We have the ability to customize our lineup. We have the ability to bring in components, which we've done on a number of occasions to make something that was suitable and compelling for Bob. Okay? But we're also part of a larger organization. We license the Eastman and Eclipse brands. Those brands bring value to us. And with the Eclipse brand in particular, we like to talk about the chiropractic studies that have been done. Every mattress on your floor has our lumbar zone in it. It's our patented lumbar zone. It was developed by Eclipse. It's been clinically tested and studied to reduce back pain, back stiffness, and improve your overall quality of sleep. What they do is they brought in the Congress of Chiropractic States Association. It's the largest chiropractic group in the country. It's COCSA.org. Worked with the University of West Virginia. They brought in 50 people who had regular back pain. These are not people that have scoliosis or spina bifida or overweight or fell off a ladder, had a car accident, or got drop kicked in an MMA fight. These are just people with normal back pain. They put 25 people on a placebo bed, 25 people on an identical bed with our lumbar zone. Every night before they went to sleep, they asked them, okay, how far can you bend, twist, and touch before it hurts? And they measured that, they gave it a score. And then they said, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your back pain. In the morning, they did the same thing. How far can you bend, twist, and touch before it hurts? Rate your back pain on a scale of 1 to 10. Rate your quality of sleep on a scale of 1 to 10. After 2 weeks of sleeping on our product with the lumbar zone, people experienced a 29% reduction, or 29% improvement in their quality of sleep, a 34% reduction in back pain, and a 96% reduction in back stiffness. Those results stayed with that customer up to 6 months after they went back home and slept on their old crappy mattress, and a lot of them said that it was the equivalent of going to the chiropractor and having their back reset. At the end of the first 2-week study, people who were originally given the placebo were given the chance to stay for an additional 2 weeks to try an alternative product to see if it would help them. We brought in 25 more victims, stuck them on placebos. After 2 weeks of moving from the placebo to our actual lumbar zone products, those customers experienced the same results. Improvement in quality of sleep, reduction in back pain, reduction in back stiffness. Now, I'm telling you all that, Mrs. Jones walks through the door today and she says, my back hurts. You show her a Sominva mattress. Is a Sominva mattress gonna make her back pain go away? Show of hands if you think the answer is yes. Show of hands if you think the answer is no. Show of hands if you don't know. I don't know, okay? If I came over there with a pocket knife and cut you, short of you stabbing me back in the eye, okay, but then I hand you a Band-Aid, that cut on your finger didn't get healed by the Band-Aid. That cut on your finger got healed by your body. The Band-Aid just protected, kept it clean. Our mattress is like a Band-Aid. It's not going to heal somebody that has a slipped disc, a bulging disc, a cracked vertebrae, or some other physical ailment that's causing their back pain. What it might do and should do, if we sell them the right bed, is hold their body in place so their body can heal and recuperate so that they feel better, okay? We're one of only a handful of companies that has ever done the types of clinical studies and proven again and again and again that our product actually does something for the consumer. So it kind of makes us unique, and it was something that Bob really enjoyed. The other thing that we do, there's a few other things that we do that Bob thought were unique to us. We're one of the few companies out there that still makes their own pocketed coil. I thought I had a demo with me, but I left it at the Oklahoma City store the other day when I did their meeting. Our pocketed coil, it's kind of an interesting story how we got there. We've been buying pocketed coils like everybody else from Liggett and Platt, and another company called Texas Pocketed Coil that's in Alvarado. We've been buying from both those companies for years. Texas Pocketed Coil pricing went up dramatically, then Liggett's followed, and we got in an argument with them over how much the price increase should be. We won the argument, kind of lost the war. Our 813 unit didn't change in coil count, but some of our guys that were building the bed said, hey, boss, this bed's not as heavy as it used to be. So we opened up a pocketed coil and it went from having 42 inches of wire in it to 39. Stephen and Stan, the two owners at the time, went out and spent a little over $3 million and bought new pocketed coil machinery that day. Ordered it, set it up, didn't say anything to Liggett. It's amazing how they come back and apologize after the fact, but it's too late. We've already done it, the die is cast. So each of our coils today has 48 inches, 4 feet of wire per coil, okay? We're using high tensile strength virgin steel, and we're doing something that they weren't doing. We're hitting every coil with 460 volts. Now, you don't have to be an electrician to know that's a lot of juice. The lamps that are running around here, most of that runs off of 110. If you have an electric dryer at your house, it runs off 220. So when you hit something with 460 volts, and it's 14.5 gauge steel, if it's got a scratch in it, if it's got a ding in it, if it's got any imperfections or impurities in the steel, 460 volts says it burns it in half. It drops into a bucket. It never goes into the mattress. The empty pocket is manually filled by one of the gentlemen that runs the pocketed coil machines, and it never goes into the bed. We send our units off, and this was the other thing that impressed Bob. We send our pocketed coils off, usually half a dozen units a year, to a company called Tri-City Labs, and they test our pocketed coils for failure. They do 2 different tests. One's called a rollator test, where they take a hexagon-shaped drum and they roll it across the bed. And the reason they use a hexagon-shaped drum is as it rolls, it slaps the mattress and it beats the snot out of it. And then they do a Cornell test, which looks like an upside-down bicycle seat, and it just beats the mattress until something breaks. We've never had a coil break. We've never had a coil sag. We've never had a coil fail, period. Not one. We've been doing this now for 8 years. We've never had a coil fail. You have a customer has one of our beds, they get it home, they say their mattress is sagging. You need to ask them if their bed frame has got a problem, if their foundation is broke, or maybe they've got some impression in the surface. Our springs don't fail, okay? And those were the things that really impressed Bob with our company. We slice our own foam. We have some patents on foam encasement, and we're gonna go through the product now. I gave you two different handouts. One looks like this, it's two-sided. And on one side it says Sominva Lux models, and on the other side it says clinically tested, proven results after Sominva sleep. You have 7 Sominva beds on the floor. I'm gonna tell you what they all have in common, and then I'm just gonna tell you, because generally the difference between each bed is only 1 or 2 things. So if I tell you how the first bed is built, and then 1 or 2 things is the step up, it's pretty easy to remember, okay? So when you look at your Camden, it's around the corner over here. It's a luxury firm. It's a blue-red, or red-blue, whichever order you like that in. You have a motion absorbing base layer. Does exactly what the name implies. That's in every single bed that we have. It acts as a shock absorber for the spring unit, absorbs side-to-side motions. The next thing you'll notice, it has our 726 VersaFlex spring unit in it, okay? And I skipped a step earlier when I was talking about our pocketed coil. I told you how many inches of wire, and I didn't tell you when it comes off the machine after being tempered. It's about 9.5 to 10 inches tall. We power pack it and put it into an 8-inch pocket. By compressing that coil before it goes into the home, just imagine if we left it full height and then a guy my size slept on it in the same spot, same position every night. It would take a set. By pre-compressing that pocketed coil, it pre-tensions it, it eliminates that impression before it ever occurs, okay? You've got that. You've got our patented lumbar zone. That is the component that was tested in the clinical trials. It runs right across the center third of the mattress. It supports this part of the body, whether you lay on your backside or stomach, okay? Then you have our patented foam encased life edge. What makes our foam encasement different than most other companies, we have a patent on attaching the pocketed coil to the foam encased edge. And it wasn't that big of a deal 10 years ago. It only really mattered when the beds were in your warehouse, they're stacked on their end like this, and the pocketed coil would have a tendency to kind of plop down inside the foam encased tub, and then your delivery guys would have to take it, kind of try like trying to get the wrinkles out of a comforter, okay? That's no good. Our pocketed coil is attached to the foam encasement, it's attached to the bottom, the spring unit can't move, it also makes the edge more durable. The only time we have a foam encased failure is if you get a short person with a wide body, isn't that a polite term? That's trying to get into bed and their backside hits the foam encasement like this, and they kind of have to crush it to get in and get back out. I don't care what it's made out of. You bend that foam encasement like this every single day, it's gonna fail. Speaking of failures, from January 1st to October 1st, Bob Mills bought 5,200 mattresses from us. We've had less than 35 pieces returned. Of those 35 pieces, less than 20 were actually in customer homes. Okay, the other pieces were warehouse damage. The ones that were in customers' homes, it could be a skip in the tape, box cutter damage. We did have a couple body impressions. We did have a couple foam encased failures, but when you look at that as a percentage, that's not even a full percent. It's less than 1%. Okay, so motion absorbing base layer, VersaFlex, lumbar, patented life edge. You're gonna have a layer, and if you're looking at the cheat sheet, you're gonna have a layer of align foam in it, which is our firm upholstery foam. Then you're gonna have our quilt package. You're gonna have antimicrobial fiber in the quilt, which resists dust mites, mold, mildew, fungus, bacteria. You're going to have cool gel in the quilt. Cool gel is designed to eliminate hot and cold spots in the quilt package. It's not just for cooling, it's getting ready to be cold outside. Where I left home, I live in central Arkansas, it was 38 degrees. People aren't really interested in sleeping cool right now. They want to sleep comfortable. Gel does both. In the summertime, it helps to dissipate excess heat, but in the wintertime, it has a little air barrier that, by being open cell, allows your body heat to escape into the mattress and create kind of an air barrier to keep you from getting cold. Doesn't let the cold air in, okay? A lot of people don't understand it works in both directions. Then last, you have our Fair and Ice cover. That is a cover that works kind of like the Tencel protector. It wicks moisture away from you for a cooling effect. So for $13.99, make sure I got that right. For $13.99, that's a lot to talk about in the Camden. What do you get for $200? You step up to the Kingston. First thing you'll notice on the outside of the bed, we put handles on it. We have a tendency as a company, when something changes inside the bed, to put a visual cue on the outside of the bed. So we added handles. You go from 726 VersaFlex to an 800. we add a layer of airflow foam in place of a layer of a line foam. Airflow foam is our super high density convoluted foam. It allows air circulation around your body while reducing pressure points. And we change the quilt pattern on the surface from the little square, which makes it firmer, to an open tack and jump. And you'll notice on here it lists the height 12 and 12.5 inches. All of our beds are built in clusters so that they can be paired up together on an adjustable base. So those two beds can be paired together, and that's the softest bed in the lineup. That's a blue-green. Then the next, I'm really gonna call it 3 beds. You have 2 Monarchs and a Castle Rock. Those 3 beds are all the same height. The 2 Monarchs, we take the Kingston, we make a firm version, and we add a full sheet of reflex memory foam to it. What does that mean? When I say full sheet, I mean it runs from head to foot and side to side. Most companies today in this price range are doing lumbar bands. Okay, that's something about the size of this foot protector, usually sitting directly on top of the spring unit that's either memory foam or latex. Typically it's memory foam, or gel memory foam goes across the middle of the bed. And you'll see companies like, I'll throw a stone at Sealy today. A company like Sealy will use that to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They'll say that their bed has a lumbar zone, and then in a separate place, they'll say it has memory foam. So they can put 2 different lines on their spec card. I think that's a little deceptive. We have a full sheet of memory foam, runs from head to foot, side to side. It's directly underneath the quilt where you can feel it, okay? And that's in both the Monarch Firm and the Monarch Euro Pillow Top. When you step up to the Castle Rock, you'll notice it has handles at the foot of the bed. So instead of having 4 handles, you now have 8. That's a visual cue, and the cover changed, okay? So instead of having Fair and Ice on the outside, we now have Therma Plus. Therma Plus is a PCM finish. Anybody in here know what PCM stands for?
Phase change material.
Who said it first? Did you say it first? Okay. PCM, $10 gift card for Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
PCM, phase change material.
now we got there too.
Yeah, yeah, they were starting to doze. Gift cards work. Okay. Phase change material means it helps to dissipate excess body heat from the surface. It sleeps cooler. But the handles at the end indicate something changed on the inside. We changed from reflex memory foam to response tallow. Does anybody in here know what tallow is?
Latex.
Well, you're gonna take them all. We're gonna, 2's the limit though, so you have to let somebody else answer the next one. It is latex. We are moving away from the term latex. Anybody that shopped Tempur-Pedic over the last 15 or 20 years know that Tempur-Pedic used to sell Tempur memory foam and Tempur support foam, and it was polyurethane. They've moved away from the words polyurethane, memory foam in their verbiage, and now everything is the Tempur material. If you sold, was anybody here when you guys had bed gear? No? Okay, well, bed gear, I repped for them for a number of years, and Bob used to sell a lot of the pillows. And when I started that 10 years ago, our best-selling pillow was a latex pillow, and it said latex in letters about that tall on the front of the box. And in any given month, not just at Bob Mills, but just in my region in general, we'd have 2 or 3 people would complain that they had an allergy. Their hair fell out, now they had dandruff, they lost the vision in the left eye, and their wife left, okay? All because of this latex pillow. Yeah, Eugene changed the name from latex to Boost Foam, and in a little tiny mouse print underneath Boost Foam, made from the natural sap of the rubber tree. The only place the word latex appeared was an even smaller mouse print on the law tag. And when I say mouse print, I can't read it without my glasses on, okay? And it says natural latex in little bitty letters. I sold that product for another 8 years. You know how many complaints I had on Boost Foam over 8 years, selling thousands and thousands and thousands of pillows? 0. So we're moving away from the word latex and moving into the word response. And why do we choose the word response? Because latex instantly responds to your movements, okay? So if you're laying on your back and you roll to your side, there's not a ditch behind you, it fills in instantly, okay? It's a fast recovery foam. It is also the most durable upholstery foam that you can purchase. And it also happens to be resistant to dust mites, mold, mildew, fungus, bacteria. And the latex that we use, just for those that still aren't convinced that our latex will not harm the customer, our latex is not only hypoallergenic, it's been certified baby safe, okay? It does not have any of the proteins or polymers or other things that cause an allergic reaction, like in things like Band-Aids, gloves, condoms, and things of that nature. Our latex does not have it. It goes through 5 rinse cycles to remove any of that stuff. If you've ever handled a piece of raw latex, which I think we've got a piece over there, I'm not gonna actually do this, but if you stretch it more than about twice its length, it'll tear. But you can take a rubber glove and you can stretch it 5, 6, 8 times. That's because it has elastomers and polymers in it. Half the time when your customer Band-Aids, same thing, okay? What causes the allergic reaction? Elastomers, polymers, adhesives, not the rubber, okay? That is your #1 selling SKU in terms of pieces, by the way, okay? And you're a red-blue there. If I skipped it on the Monarchs, you're a red, and you're a blue-red, you're a red, a blue, and then a blue-red here on the Castle Rock. That gives you 3 different fields, all at the same profile at $15.99 and $19.99, okay? Then we go to the last 2 models in the regular Sominva lineup. You'll notice again, they're the same height. We're gonna give that customer a choice, okay? And you've got a blue and a red blue. You've got we have 2 different names on this bed, and I'm just, Royal Stone and the Grace. On the Royal Stone, where here we had memory foam, here you had latex, here you have both. We have reflex memory foam over top of the response foam, so you get that initial cushion feel from the memory foam. Underneath that, you have that buoyant feel of the latex. And if you're not using that term to describe latex, you need to let that word down. Buoyant is the way that we describe latex internally, because it can do 2 things at once. Memory foam can isolate motion transfer and reduce pressure points. That's it. It does not provide support. Polyurethane foam can either provide comfort or support. It's either soft and comfortable or it's hard. It doesn't do both. Latex can walk and chew gum at the same time. So latex can be soft and squishy while still giving you support because you can't fully compress it. So by putting that in the middle there, you get all the comfort of that memory foam, you get the buoyancy of the latex, and it just gives that bed a unique feel. And for customers that like that thicker, plusher feel, but still want to be able to roll over and turn over in bed, that's a great model. The last model, the Grace. This bed's unique on your floor because it actually has the gel in the quilt, but the gel is gel memory foam. We use 2 layers of reflex, cool gel reflex memory foam in the quilt. If you'll take your hand on that bed, spread your fingers out like you're trying to grip a basketball, like this, and push down in the quilt, you can actually feel the memory foam right in the quilt. You guys feel what I'm talking about? So you got 2 layers in the quilt, and you got 2 layers of memory foam directly underneath the quilt. No other bed on the floor that I'm aware of has that much memory foam in it. That's as much as a $29.99 Tempur-Pedic. So if you got somebody that likes that type of feel, but doesn't like, again, not being able to turn over, roll over, move around on the bed, this is a nice compromise. This is a nice hybrid feel that they can get the memory foam while still getting the support of the pocketed coil. All of these beds are 15-year non-prorated warranties. Full value for the full length of the warranty. They're all adjustable friendly. All of our foams, except for latex, are CertiPure certified. The latex is Okiotex certified, hypoallergenic, and baby safe. Now that was a ton of information. Who can repeat it all back to me?
Well, I already used up my 2 tries, so.
Any questions? Any questions about the regular Sominva? Okay. Before we move on, and you've already used up your 2, so can somebody tell me?
5.
Can somebody tell me what one of the patented features is in the regular Sominva?
Posture zone.
Woo!
All right.
Got that down to the science, huh?
What's that?
Got that down to the science.
Just about. Although I'd peg somebody at a meeting in Oklahoma City, so we're not going to talk about that a lot. All right, so then we have 3 beds on this side of the aisle. The Sominva Luxe beds. Obviously, they're different. You start with a blue border. So clearly we changed something on the outside. You can see that they're tufted. You can see they have the 8 handles. These 3 beds are all, I'm going to tell you what they all have in common. You've got a red, a blue red, and a blue. Okay? All the beds have our motion absorbing base layer. All of them have our 789 VersaFlex with the lumbar zone across the center. But instead of being foam encased with our foam encased life edge, these have our steel life edge. This is a quantum edge support system. Anybody here know what quantum edge is? Reaching for a card. What is a quantum edge?
Is it a reinforced edge with an extra spring in it to keep it from slumping off?
It's got 2 rows of fur.
Well, you don't count.
Well,
Okay.
4 to 6 inches into the mattress, like a wall around the mattress, prevents motion transfer.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to both of you, and those are the last 2 cards. Let's see how well it, a little short. There you go. Okay, so you have 2 rows, of high-strength pocketed coils along the outside edge of the spring unit here. And what that does, it allows for more breathability, because foam encasement, even though it's an open cell foam, it's 3.5 inches wide on the sides, it's 4 inches at the head and foot. It doesn't allow as much airflow through as the pocketed coil. Second, this will flex easier on a motion base. Third, we've tested this now, and I personally tested it. I went from a foam encased bed that was 3 years old to this edge support system, which turned 3 years old on October the 24th. It's easy to remember since it's my wife's birthday, okay? I have a standing desk in my room, and I'll stand and I'll work at the desk for an hour or 2, and then I'll sit on the edge of my bed. And on a Saturday or Sunday, I might sit there for 2 hours, and then I'll stand back up for 20, 30 minutes, and I'll sit back down for an hour, just depending on what I'm working on, if I'm gonna sit and use the mouse or if I'm typing. If I'm typing, I stand. When I'm doing mouse stuff, I usually sit. On my foam encased bed, after 3 years, you couldn't see the impression on the edge, but you could feel it when you sat there. On my new bed, roughly the same age, you can't feel it, you can't see it. I'm sold on this. This works. Okay, fantastic edge support system. Next, all 3 beds are going to have 1.5 inches of a high density cool gel reflex memory foam layer that has been pinhole drilled and then is treated with a material called pure gel. So not only do you have gel memory foam, you have a topping on it that is a medical grade gel. This medical grade gel helps to reduce pressure points in your body, and it helps to dissipate excess body heat. We pinhole drill it because the pure gel doesn't breathe very well and it allows for air circulation through the mattress. We don't want any moisture to build up inside the bed from a lack of air circulation. All 3 beds have that. All 3 beds will have a layer of graphene. I'll go through that as I go through each individual model. They will have cool gel quilts. They will have the glacier fabric. The white areas on the mattress are a thread called Glacier. It comes from a company called Lava Textiles. And it's cool to the touch. It works like your cooling protector, okay? It's a very similar material. That's polyethylene, this is polyamide, but it does the same thing, okay? And then last, you'll see the tufting. Please don't let me forget to come back to the tufting. So let's talk about the individual models. Model 1 is the Cumulus. It's a red, it's nice and firm. In addition to all the other components, it has a firming pad right in the middle of the Euro pillow top that gives that bed that solid feel when you lay down on it. You get some firm aligned layers and then a firming pad. It helps to distribute the body's weight to give that bed a firmer feel. And it has graphene latex in it, okay? Graphene latex is very much natural, like what we use over here, and then it is graphene carbon that is added to it that makes the latex stronger and increases its ability to dissipate excess heat. When you step up to the Cirrus, the graphene latex goes away. It's replaced with graphene memory foam, reflex memory foam, okay? And it's in the same place directly under the quilt panel where it's gonna do the most good. And just like our regular memory foam that we use in the Monarchs, they take regular memory foam, they add graphene particles to it, and it helps to make the memory foam not only stronger, but dissipate excess heat quicker. When you get to the Nimbus behind me, it has both. So you get a layer of graphene memory foam on top, graphene latex below. It's kind of a mirror image of the Royal Stone, okay? Any questions about that? 20-year limited warranties. Why are the warranties over here longer than the warranties over there? We have 20-year warranties on some of our foam encased beds. Anybody else? It's because they're tufted. Told you I was going to come back to that. When you tuft the mattress, and if you look at our tufting, anybody here ever sold Stearns & Foster? No? You've got some up the street from you. Stearns starts tufting, I think $45.99 or so, give or take, and goes up from there. Their tufting has no tension on it, and if you count the number of tufts, they have about half as many as what we use. Their tufting is more decorative. Our tufting is functional. Our tufting isn't twine. Our tufting, if you actually take your hand, and you can do this over there, but if you press down on the mattress and you lift up on the tuft, and you guys can take a look at this if you want, it's a 5/8 inch wide strap.
Oh, wow.
Okay? It's not a little piece of twine. I can't get it fully unfolded because I just don't have fingernails, but it's folded in half. Just take my word for it. Okay? That strap is about the width of my pinky. Okay? And it's done that way so it can have tension on it without breaking, and we don't want it to cut through the upholstery foams inside the mattress, so you need something a little wider. By putting tension on it, when you lay on our beds, flat on your back, they tend to initially lay a little firmer. And then when you roll to your side, you take your body weight, you put it on a narrow edge, it releases the tension on that tuft and makes the bed a little plusher. When our beds are shipping in the truck, there's no shifting in the materials. When it's sitting in your warehouse, there's no shifting in the materials. When it's in your customer's home and it's going up and down and up and down and up and down on their adjustable base over the next 20 years, there's no shifting in the materials. Our tufts are about 1 inch to 1.5 inches shorter than the mattress, so it pre-tensions it and more or less eliminates body impressions, okay? Because what's our normal standard for body impressions? Up to 1.5 inches is normal, right? The tuft's already 1.5 inches deep. It's already holding it at that level. So it's not gonna take that or more. It just won't, okay? It makes the beds very, very durable. Something that we don't talk about a whole lot in the industry, we don't glue our top panels down. If you go over, grab the middle of that panel over there and lift up. Anybody. Just grab the center, the top panel, right here. Grab it right in the middle, lift up, okay? We don't glue our panels down. If you glue them down, it makes noise, okay? The problem with any quilted bed, that mattress is 60 inches wide. Fat boy sleeps in it every night. That fabric's gonna stretch a little bit, like the top of your socks. I like to call those quitters when they won't stay up. Anyway, anybody you ever had a quitter? I can't stand quitters.
Wrong crowd.
Well, anyway.
Never mind.
Oh, maybe get into it later. Or the top of your shirt. Eventually that fabric, it stretches a little bit. People think that they're getting a body impression in their mattress, okay? Most of the time what you're getting is not a body impression in the mattress. You're getting stretching in the quilt, and where you have it laid, you get a little bit of bunching up. You get a little bit of a ridge, especially on a king size down the middle. There's nowhere for it to go except bunch up in the middle. So if I'm laying here, the middle's gonna kind of bunch up a little bit, or the edge is gonna bunch up a little bit, and people confuse that with a body impression. On a bed that's tufted, none of the materials can shift or move. It more or less eliminates that body impression appearance on the bed before it ever occurs. We do everything we can to minimize it on our regular mattresses, but in our ultra premium, we just want to completely eradicate it. So we brought in the tufting machines a little over a year ago, and we started producing these beds for Bob, and to date, I don't think we've taken back a single piece on a warranty issue, not one, okay? 20-year non-corroded warranties, and that's mostly due to the tufting. Questions?
The warranty on the and I've been selling mattresses for almost a couple of years, and I'm still learning a lot about it. Every time you guys come down here, I learn more about this mattress. The warranty though, how does the warranty work? When you say 20-year non-prorated warranty, so at year 19, if it is sunk in so far, is that how it works?
Okay, that's a great question. Let me tell you, when a customer asks me, how long is this bed gonna last? What's the warranty? Any question like that, I have a canned response to it, and I'll break it up into parts and I'll do it all over again. First thing I ask him is, okay, well, this bed has a 20-year limited warranty, or that bed has a 15-year limited warranty, provided that you have a proper bed frame with center support, which means the center leg goes to the floor. You have a matching foundation, okay? You have an intact and attached law tag, and the bed is free of stains and in a sanitary condition, which is why we sell mattress protectors. There's a phrase you might want to write down. Most of our customers buy 2,
Yeah.
because they take a long time to launder, take a very long time to dry. So I tell them that. Now, when the customer presses further and says, well, what is a warranty issue? Really, the number of things that are covered by the warranty are very limited in scope. Closing seams on the bed, okay? Not if somebody goes and pulls the stitching out, but if it's got a gap right here on the side and there's no box cutter marks or knife edges or whatever, We just flat skipped and that's a closing seam. The beds have to meet FR 1633 from 2007, and that's a fire retardant law. If it's not closed, it doesn't meet the standard, we'll replace it. And that usually is noted the minute it gets to their house and they go, hey, the guy skipped a stitch. That happens to maybe one bed in 10,000. If it gets body impressions that exceed 1.5 inches up to and including 1.5 inches is considered normal on a quilted mattress. Okay, I can tell you that in any given year, the number of beds that exceed 1.5 inches is very, very low. Bob buys 5,200 beds, maybe 6. And of those 6, 7 beds, most of those are either on a bad frame or a bad box. It's
I
very,
see what you're saying.
very rare, or it's stained, and that's what caused it to fail. Pet stains, anything acidic that gets down the mattress will cause the foams to break down. That's going to cause a problem.
Like you just made it easier to sell mattress protectors.
Correct. Any kind of fluid stain on the surface, because I hear people, if it's bigger than a quarter, if it's bigger than a dime, if I see a fluid stain on the surface of any size, the warranty's void. Any size. Okay? And then I didn't just have stains, I said unsanitary. If you take this mattress straight from your warehouse, stick it in the back of your horse trailer that's full of manure, that's unsanitary. If you bring the mattress back and it's not stained, but there's bugs in the bag, that's unsanitary. If you bring your mattress back brand new in the bag and I can smell it before I get to it, that's unsanitary. So we're not going to take that back. And I have seen all of those things occur. You know, somebody had bought a brand new bed, stuck it in a secondary room, their house caught on fire. If anybody's ever gone through, that's a terrible, terrible thing. It's not a warranty issue. And you can never get the smell out of the product. And you can smell it before you get halfway across the room. That's not our fault. We take care of everything. We do it very, very quickly. In fact, we do not require Bob Mills to contact us before he takes care of a warranty issue. They have the authority. Jeff has the authority to do it himself if he wants to. Okay, so just so you know, he's not calling me and saying, Mark, what do you think? If he does, it's something that usually happened in your back room. Okay, and he's like, Mark, I'll eat this one if you'll eat the next one, kind of thing. Okay, that was a great question. Other questions? Well, that's it, really? Too easy, too easy. Guys, I appreciate your time. I've given out all the Chick-fil-A gift cards, so let me do one more thing for you. What's the date of today?
Today's the 4th.
Today's the 4th. Okay, December 13th is a Sunday. Is that right? Somebody look.
Check it out.
Math kept me in 4th grade for 3 years, man.
Is that correct?
December 13th is
December 13th is a Sunday. Today through December 13th, top salesperson in dollars on Sominva products and Sominva Lux, and I'll even include the 10 cell protector because we sell those to Bob as well. Top salesperson in our category can have the mattress of their choice.
Oh,
Is that per store?
It's for this store. Don't say anything to the other stores because I'm not going to the other stores and they'll be very angry.